Hello guys, and welcome to Corel Draw training, and in today's video we are going to cover Corel Draw interface. So to start, before I show you anything, let's create a new document. So to create a new document in Corel, what you need to do is go to file. Can you see this? This is the file part, and in this part you can create a new document, or you can open an existing document. For example, if you had created an artwork using Corel and you had saved it somewhere in your computer, you can open it using this tab here. You can also save a Corel Draw document using this file tab in Corel Draw. You can also export, that is after you're done with your work, you can export the final image using this part here. You can also publish to PDF using this part here. So now let's go to the topmost item, which is new. So click the new item here, and this window here will allow you to create a new document in Corel Draw. Now the first item here on the top requires you to enter the name of the document. For example, I can enter the name as Corel interface. Okay, so you just need to enter the name of the file that you'll be working on. Now below it is just a preset destination. This allows you to set like what are you designing this graphic for. For example, you could be designing an image to put it on a website. You could be doing it for printing, or it can be just a custom document. So depending on what you want to do, you can set these parameters right here. For now, let's leave it as custom. Now the other option here is size. Now if you're creating a Corel Draw file, you need to specify the size. Now you can set it as A4, which is the very common one. You can have it as A5, you can have it as a Japanese postcard, or whichever size you want to publish. So for now we can go with A4. Now by default, A4 has a width of 210 by 297, but of course you can customize it to whichever size of your choice. Okay, now here we have two items here. We have portrait and landscape. Now these options allow you to set your document as either portrait or landscape. Landscape means the document is slanted, and portrait means the document is upright. Now this option here allows you to set the number of pages. Now you can have a document of 10 pages, 50 pages, and so on. For now, let's leave it at 1, but of course you can set up to whichever number of pages you want to set. Now these two options are basically for printing and setting resolutions. So for now, leave them as they are here. So let's click OK and see what will happen. So by clicking OK, we have been taken to this new window, and this is the workspace. This rectangular shape here is the working space of our Corel Draw, and now we can discuss the other parts or the other items in this window. So let's move to this tab here. I had created a small illustration here for you for quicker explanation of what each section in Corel Draw is called and its function. Now this item here is the title bar. Now title bar basically shows the name of the document. For example, for now I have not named the document, so by default it is labeled as Untitled 2. But if I use this one, you can see the name of this document is Corel interface. This is the one that we created. By the way, these are tabs, and you can create as many tabs as you want. Meaning after creating each new document, this tab automatically get created. So let's get back to our guide here. Now this other item here is the menu bar. This is a menu, file is a menu, edit is a menu, view is a menu, and each menu has a function. For example, I just showed you how to use the menu, the file menu. Edit menu allows you to do a number of things. For example, duplicate or cut and copy. View allows you to, for example, show the rulers. I will show you what rulers means, and quite a number of other things. Layout allows you, for example, to insert page numbers and so on. Objects allow you to use very powerful functions such as power clip, and we'll discuss this in our future videos. Effects allow us to use things such as extrude, which we will discuss in artistic media. Yes, so we have bitmap. Bitmap allow us to, for example, mask a color. For example, if you have an image that has color black, green, and so on, you can color mask a single color, and depending on what we want to achieve. For example, if you want to remove the background, you can just mask the color that is in the background. Text allows us to manipulate text. For example, we can force a text to follow a specific path. So it's another useful menu there. Table allows us to create tables and manipulate them. Tools allows us to do some advanced stuff such as adding macros to our Corel. So this is a bit of programming using macros. Again, you can use it from this menu bar. Now Windows allows us to show some extra dockers. For example, if I visit this option here, I can show a text docker here. Boom, can you see we have a new docker here on a window with all text properties. So basically those are the options that you can find in the menu bar. This option below the menu bar is usually called standard toolbar. So standard toolbar is this item here which has these shortcuts, print, and so on, undo. These items here are the ones that are under this section, which is called standard toolbar. Below it we have a property bar. Now property bar shows us what we are working on. For example, if I create this square here, you can see it automatically shows the features of this object, for example the width and so on, and we can manipulate it using the status toolbar as well. So this one is the status or property bar. Okay, now the other part that you need to understand how it works is this section here. This section is called toolbox, and it has all the tools that we need, and by the way we are going to discuss each and every of these tools, and so please stay tuned because you learn all these tools here. Now inside here is the working space, or sometimes you can call it drawing window, but basically that's where we put our content. Okay, now the other important section that I would like to show you is this item here. Can you see this one? These ones are called rulers, and they are very important because they allow us or help us align things in a straight line, and we also have the upper ones here. For example, if I want an item to be exactly here, these lines will guide me to know whether they are aligned, and maybe they are aligned with another shape somewhere else. So basically that's how we use our toolbars. Okay, so this is basically what we will cover in this video about interface, and I hope you understood quite a number of things and how you can use it. See you in the next video. Bye bye.